It's Sunday night. You don't feel like cooking something up too difficult, and you also don't feel like ordering some food because we all know that's way too expensive. Come on, I'll show you how to make some quesadillas with some leftover steak, chicken, and other ingredients. Before we even get started cooking, let's make sure that we have all the ingredients that we're going to need. If you take a look in the top left, you'll see the spices that we're going to use. We're going to use some black pepper, any salt that you want, and some garlic and onion powder. Right below those are our flour tortillas and our cup of diced bell peppers. Below that is our cup of olive oil. You can use any oil that you want. I prefer olive oil. On the right of that are our meats that we're going to use, some leftover steak and some leftover chicken. Again, you can use any meats that you want. We're going to be using some mozzarella cheese, which is perfect for quesadillas in a pinch. And we're also going to be using some diced potatoes for our home fries. And if you look in the top right, you'll see the ingredients for our creamy Frank's Red Hot sauce, which is simply just butter and Frank's Red Hot. Okay. First, let's start with the home fries, because they're going to take the longest. Take some of your olive oil and pour a small glob into the middle of a pan on medium-high heat. This is where we're going to cook our home fries, and we're going to pour in our bell peppers next. I like to dice up all three colors because the more the merrier. You're going to want to get those nice and evenly distributed throughout the pan, and also nice and evenly coated in that olive oil. You're going to want to let those sit a little longer until you pour in your potatoes. Be patient. It's all going to be worth it in the end. You're going to want to get those nice and evenly distributed, as I said. Start stirring them around in the pan. Here we're going to add in our diced potatoes. Add in as much as you want. I'm a big starch guy, so I'm pouring in the whole plate. You want to get those nice and mixed in with the oily peppers. Just stir, stir, stir with your spoon, your fork, whatever you got. Next up, we're going to add in our spices. I'm not a huge fan of onion myself, so here I'm going to be adding in half a teaspoon each of first some onion powder and then some garlic powder. After these spices, we're also going to add in our little bit of black pepper and just a touch of our pink sea salt. You can use any kind of salt you want. And a final reminder on those potatoes, you're going to want to let those sit until they reach a nice golden brown. Now, as you're stirring up your little Idahonian friends in there with that olive oil and peppers, we're going to add in just a smidge of butter to give them some nice flavor. You're going to want to stir that in nice and well until you achieve that nice golden brown color. Now, do remember that we are cooking the home fries first because they're going to take the longest, so don't go expecting these to be ready right away. Now that our potatoes are on the way, let's get started with that quesadilla. Throw some butter right in the pan. Now, let's get right on the way with that quesadilla. First, you're going to throw some butter in a pan on medium-high heat. Then, throw some salt in with that butter. That's going to be where our tortilla is going to live for now. Then, take your nice store-bought flour tortilla. You could use homemade if you like, but store-bought works just fine. And rotate it around in the pan to get that nice salty butter all over the bottom. Then, on only one side of the quesadilla, you can add your cheese. I've gone with mozzarella today because that's perfect in a pinch, and it works great for quesadillas. Just keep layering that cheese on there because I like a real cheesy quesadilla. Remember, with this quesadilla and any recipe, you can add pretty much as much of any ingredient as you'd like, as it's almost like you're building your own creation. Next in, I'm adding some leftover steak, putting that right on top of the mozzarella. Shortly after this, I'll be adding in our nice chicken. This chicken pairs perfectly with that steak, and it's going to go great in our quesadilla. And after I add in that chicken, I'm planning on adding in another layer of mozzarella cheese, just to really seal the deal, because I'm a big cheese guy. Now that our quesadilla is on the way, let's take another look at our home fries. So, it appears that they're getting browned on some sides, but they need to go a little bit longer. We really want to get those flavors really intermingled there, so I'm mixing everything around with a spoon, because the spatula's giving me a bit of a hard time. And we really just want to get all those flavors meeting each other. Oh, looks like we had some spillage. It's alright, it's all part of the fun. But yeah, really, keep mixing. Don't stop. It's like a disco. Just keep going, all night long. Stir, stir, stir. Yeah, alright. Now, we're going to take a look at our quesadilla. Let's flip that bad boy over. Ooh, that looks really good. Okay. We're going to want to press that down nice and flat. Yeah, I really want to eat that. Okay, so let's flip that bad boy over. Get it nice and evenly cooked on both sides. Press it nice down and flat with the spatula. Don't be afraid to get your hands in there. Just don't touch the pan. It's extremely hot. I speak from experience. Now, just let's take a look on the side of our quesadilla. It appears that it's just about as melted as I'd like. So remember, this quesadilla is built for you. So if it's as melted as you like, you take it off in 5 minutes, you take it off in 30 minutes. Wouldn't recommend the second part. Now, we're gonna plate our quesadilla. We're gonna take a nice Rainforest Cafe plate from the cabinet and moving this bad boy right on top of it. Boom, there we go. How's that look? Now that you've just constructed the best quesadilla of your life, let's get back to that heart attack in a pan over here that I just threw some more butter into. Now, as I was saying earlier, keep mixing up those potatoes with those peppers because we want to get a nice golden brown color, but we also don't want them to stick to the pan because that's going to be a real nightmare later. So just keep stirring, stirring, stirring until you get that nice golden brown color. And if you need to add more seasoning, feel free to. As we're waiting in the final few minutes for our home fries to golden up, let's make a hot, creamy Frank's Red Hot. All you're going to have to do is pour 1 part butter and 2 parts Frank's Red Hot into a saucepan on medium-high heat, as we've been cooking everything else at that temperature tonight. And you simply just want to mix that up until you get a nice orange consistency. Now, we have a golden brown quesadilla, but we are still waiting for those potatoes to get nice and golden brown. So let's continue to stir that creamy Frank's Red Hot in that saucepan, getting a nice, consistent orange color all throughout. That is going to pair perfectly with the quesadilla. Goes perfect with that chicken, if I do say so myself. And as we're giving those hash browns / home fries a last final look, it looks like they're just about golden brown. So let's take those off the heat and pay a little more attention to our creamy Red Hot sauce. And let's give those a nice stir with a spoon there. These are just the final touches before we get to enjoy our great meal. Giving those home fries a nice stir, because why not? We've been stirring them all night. No reason to stop now. And finally, getting a good final stir on that Frank's Red Hot with 2 spoons. Final touch with this sauce that you have to do while it's cooking is simply just stir it around to make sure it doesn't get stuck to the sides of the pan. Congratulations, you've made it to the end. All you have to do now is move that hot, beautiful sauce into a cup that you could serve alongside with your quesadilla. And all we have to do now is move those home fries into their new home on that plate. Congratulations once again. This meal is going to serve you well. I truly believe that. It is one of my favorites to make in a pinch. And that, my friends, is how you make dinner.